Mark Kerr was one of the scariest heavyweights in MMA history, but behind the scenes, he struggled with addiction. And this is where Joe Rogan gets him to open up.
Do you think that maybe that kind of drive played a factor in you having an issue with substances?
Yeah.
Because you just wanted relief?
Yeah.
Maybe relief from the mindset?
Yeah. Part of it was that, I almost buy into the bullshit, and I can never be this perfect being that I was trying to be. And so I'm always falling short. And that feeling of always falling short and this, I couldn't live up to what I thought I needed to live up to.
Right.
And so that was hiding, and, I'm just going to get a little relief from it. So I can unplug.
Ambition is what drives improvement, but taken too far, it flips into perfectionism, and that can eat someone alive. The pressure builds until the mind just wants to unplug, to escape that endless chase. Most people hit that wall at some point in life, though usually in smaller ways. For fighters, the stakes are brutal, and in Kerr's case, the escape wasn't healthy. Substances became the only switch off, and that choice carried a heavy price.
Right.
And it was just one of those where it started with pain, realistically. It started like, I'm doing something that inherently I'm going to have pain.
Yeah.
And it was this progression from that of from pain to, I didn't know what an opiate addiction was.
Yeah, in all fairness, I think we should tell people, back when this was all going on, the opiate epidemic had not occurred yet.
Yeah.
And people did not know. And they were also telling a lot of people when they were taking these pain medications that they were not addictive.
Not addictive.
And they argued it in court.
Fuck.
They argued it in court that it was not addictive.
Oh my God.
Which is really crazy.
The opioid epidemic started in the late 1990s when powerful painkillers like OxyContin flooded the market. Pharmaceutical companies promised they were safe and not addictive. Doctors handed them out like candy, and patients could get relief almost instantly. At first, it seemed like a miracle. Patients felt better, doctors were praised, and the companies raked in billions. But behind the curtain, the reality was terrifying. These drugs were highly addictive. People needed higher doses just to feel normal, and quitting was pure torture. Shaking, vomiting, sleepless nights, and cravings that felt impossible to fight. By the 2000s, millions were hooked. Communities started crumbling under overdoses, broken families, and crime. When prescriptions ran dry, many turned to street drugs like heroin and fentanyl, which made the crisis even deadlier. Eventually, the truth came out. The companies weren't clueless. They knew exactly what they were doing. Purdue Pharma, the maker of OxyContin, earned over $35 billion from the drug, profiting massively while lives were destroyed. Even after lawsuits, the company and the Sackler family paid a settlement of $7.4 billion, a fraction of what they made. Much of their fortune remains, raising questions about whether justice was truly served. What began as a solution for pain turned into one of the deadliest drug crises in modern history, and it's still affecting millions of people today. What do you think? Did the companies selling these medications really not know how addictive they were? Or did they know and decide the profits were worth the risk, even with the coming consequences? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Which I didn't understand. I didn't understand. When I took it to the level that I took it, when I stopped, tried to stop, I didn't understand what being dope sick was. I didn't understand getting physically sick because I don't have the substance in my body. I would get diarrhea. I couldn't walk from here to the end of the room without having to sit down for a half hour.
It's almost like a parasite.
It is.
It's almost like a parasite that needs you to keep feeding it to stay alive. Because how else could getting poison out of your body be bad?
Yeah.
How nuts is that?
Yeah.
That you want it bad, you want to get it, you want to get the poison back in you? What kind of weird biological mechanism is that?
The crazy part is the first recognition of that I'm stuck, that I don't know the answer. Because I'm caught between, all right, I'm going through this physical withdrawal and everything else that comes with it, or I'm just going to go seek the thing that's causing the physical withdrawal because it makes me feel better.
How frustrating must that be? Taking medications to feel better, thinking you're doing the right thing, and not even realizing you're getting hooked. And then, when you finally try to quit, your body just rebels. Sickness, shaking, sleepless nights, leaving you feeling absolutely terrible. And just like that, you're under its control. Even someone like Mark Kerr, a world-class fighter, couldn't just tough it out. That's the real power of addiction. It doesn't care who you are.
So you're caught in this loop of just bullshit, right?
And then you go, I'll just have a little.
Yeah, just that's it. I just need to feel better just a little bit. And, so it's one of those where it's there wasn't the internet back then. I couldn't get on and let's Google something, It's wasn't that.
So how did you figure out that, when did you realize, I've got a problem?
I always, from probably age 14.
Really?
Yeah, I knew when I first had a drink, I drank until I was drunk. Like, because that was this taste of Jack Daniels, and it was like, oh, this feels good. It was like not a normal reaction. Looking back on it, going, oh. So I've always had a propensity towards it. And then, it functions both ways because I get addicted to the sport. I get addicted to the routine. I get addicted to getting in a ring and taking someone's will. I get addicted to the crowd, the championship, the adulations, this. It's like, that's who I am.
What Mark Kerr is showing us is a real lesson. We can only learn from other people's mistakes. Addiction can go either way, good or bad. You can get addicted to almost anything, so it's up to you to choose wisely.
Right. And it's a contributor to my success, but it's also a contributor to my demise. In both ways. It's like, from an early age, I understood like, hey, this could be a problem, and then when wrestling came along, I didn't drink during wrestling. Like during that whole season, I didn't drink. In college, I didn't drink during wrestling season. When it's like, okay, I'm in recovery. I have 7 years of sobriety now.
7 years sober. That's huge. Proof that even the hardest battles can be won.
And
congratulations.
So, yeah,
that's awesome.
I mean, it's for me, it's one of those foundational things of like, oh, that's what I've been missing my whole life.
Yeah. And you keep repeating that term for a good reason. Foundational is everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like having like morals and ethics, that's foundational. Having your health, that's foundational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it's one of those we're understanding like those are the building blocks. Because if I don't have those things in place, nothing else stands up.
Right. Of course.
I mean, it sounds like the duh.
No,
right?
but it's an important thing to reiterate because everybody should hear it. And
it's a huge part. It's a huge part.
It's it with most things in life. You have to have structure, some kind of structure.
Life without structure. That's when struggles, temptations, and bad habits sneak in. Every routine, every goal, every healthy habit, every mindful choice, they quietly build strength and keep life from spiraling. Lose that balance, and those challenges can take over.
You know what? Listening to Joe Dispenza, it's changed some of my perspective of how, like, just having, we're energy, right? Mm-hmm. We're energy, and your emotional energy is transferred to me. It's like why I was addicted to Dawn, because of that exchange of negative energy, right?
Yeah.
Back and forth. It's like being an addict.
Right.
I'm addicted to the drama.
You're also addicted to making up.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah.
Because that's a feel good too.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes people want to get in fights just
to make up. Hell yeah. I mean, it's the whole process of that fucked up shit. It's how fucked
it's up. It's called fun.
Oh my God.
What do you hate fun?
There are some crazy addictions in this world. You can get hooked on almost anything.
I'm so thankful that I have my health. I'm so thankful that I have my sobriety. I'm so thankful that I get to experience these things and share, my experience, strength, and hope, they call it, right? With other people and give them going, look at all the bullshit I went through, and I'm on the other side of it. So whatever you're going through, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Anything.
Truly. The thing about what you did is that, like I said, I thought it was so brave that you did it publicly. When you did the Smashing Machine documentary.
The Smashing Machine is a raw, unfiltered documentary that delves into the life of Mark Kerr, a dominant force in early MMA. What made the Smashing Machine truly groundbreaking was how openly Mark Kerr revealed his addiction struggles. He didn't hide the pain, the dependency on painkillers, or the chaos it caused in his life. He put it all on camera. For many viewers, seeing a top-level fighter so vulnerable was shocking. The audience reaction was intense. Some were sympathetic, amazed by his honesty. Others were stunned, even uncomfortable, because this wasn't the polished, heroic image of a fighter they were used to. It sparked discussions about the hidden toll of professional fighting, addiction in sports, and the human side behind the public persona. By showing his struggles publicly, Kerr not only humanized himself, but also shone a light on issues many athletes battle in silence.
And I was thinking, like, were you happy that you were getting on film, so like maybe this like would make you get clean? Was there any of that?
Ooh, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Because part of it is that I didn't at that point, the only person on the planet that knew what I was doing was Dawn. So when John had put the camera down, and he's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not being truthful with us. And I'm like, well, at that moment I kind of went, fuck you, get the fuck out of my house, you're done filming. And there was this moment where it was like I needed to tell somebody, and I go, okay, like, here's what I've been doing. And I don't know who to tell. I don't know how to tell it. I'm just going to show you. And that's when it shows me shooting up. Because it was one of those where it's like, it felt like a weight got lifted.
Right.
Like all of a sudden it's just like, oh.
Opening up about something so personal and painful, that takes guts. This is a glimpse of true bravery from a fighter both inside and outside the ring.
Did you ever think about not going through with the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what they ended up doing. So I didn't see one stitch of footage at all until I saw the complete documentary in Los Angeles at the Dolby Sound Studios. So it was like a couple of years.
Wow.
Not a second of footage. So I sit down, the documentary as it appeared on HBO, right? And the filmmakers aren't watching the fucking film, they're watching me watch the film. Right?
Wow.
There's like 8 of us in the movie theater. Film's done, lights come up, and I literally stand up and John Greenhall goes, "What do you think?" And I go, "I'm gonna have to get back with you." And I just walk straight out, don't say another fucking word, get in my truck, start driving. Back then the phones, like in the car, and he's calling me on the phone and he goes, "You're gonna be okay." I go, "I have enough clue. I don't know. I honestly don't know."
We can only imagine how overwhelming it must be to watch your darkest days on screen and then sit with the uncertainty of whether to let the world see them.
Because the agreement we had in place was I had final veto over the content of it.
But he never showed you the content?
Until that day I saw it in the Dolby Sound Studios in Los Angeles. The content, the whole film, I didn't see any of it until that moment. So literally I drove home and John was like, "What?" I go, you have to give me a day. You have to fucking give me a day. I said, I don't know. I don't know if I can go forward with that. I don't think I can. It's just too much.
Okay, so you did have the power to veto it.
Yeah, I did. At the very.
What made you decide not to?
John had said something to me like, I guess it's like a parable where it's like, if you've lived your life and you've saved one person's life, you've had a worthy life. Meaning that if somebody watches this and sees your struggles that you've gone through and sees the hope that you have in your recovery, it gives them hope.
He's right. Sometimes knowing that someone else made it through the darkness is enough to keep a person moving forward.
Because what keeps you addicted is shame. The shame of what I was doing. It kept me quiet. Who the fuck am I going to tell?
Right. You don't want them to know.
No, you don't want them to know. Like, no. And so that shame is what usually keeps people. But if they see me in the film go through this process and this deep revealing process of what was going on with me, it gives them an opportunity to go, well, I can ask for help too.
No one ever healed by staying in shame. The first step toward freedom is admitting you're human, flawed, and in need of support. That's when change starts.
When you got through the film, how long did it take you to get clean?
I got clean off of morphine, off of the Nubain I was doing right after, all the way through the Fujita fight, and I was clean started drinking, which is a whole nother topic, but, I had done narcotics in, probably like 3 years after that, and then I started up again, and then it was this process of like start, stop, and then the thing that predominantly dominated me was alcohol, because it's socially acceptable, easily accessible, all these different factors of it, and so that's eventually, like I've said, my mom passed away September 3rd, 1996. So my son knows this, and so my sobriety date's September 4th. And so my son asked me that day, September 3rd, he's like, "Dad, I know you need to drink today because your mom died, but would you stop tomorrow?" And at the time, I thought it was just another empty promise of like, I'll stop. And next day I got up and there's just something a little different or whatever it was that day. And I stopped asking the questions why, because it's irrelevant, right? And from that day till today, I'm sober.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes change comes in the smallest, quietest moments.
Makes no fucking sense.
But it does. It's like you get better at sobriety, just like you get better at all other things in life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You get better at figuring out why. And, there's also the reality that I think a lot of people need to take into consideration when it comes to fighting. A lot of guys they're self-diagnosing or self-dispensing something to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Because they've taken a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
And they feel like shit.
Yeah.
And alcohol is a big one.
Oh,
big
huge.
contributing factor.
Huge.
A lot of former fighters become alcoholics. Cocaine's another one. Yeah.
After retiring, many fighters face chronic pain from past injuries and a loss of purpose. To cope, some turn to alcohol or drugs. Prescription painkillers, initially used for recovery, can lead to dependency and may transition into illicit drug use. The absence of the adrenaline rush from competition and the structure of training can create a void, leading to depression and anxiety. Without proper support, these challenges can result in substance abuse.
Because it's one of those where I thought, I literally woke up, Joe, and this is no shit, like waking up going, okay, I don't know what's wrong with me, but there's something wrong. Like there's something wrong with me. And understanding like all this different stuff, head trauma and all these different things and factors, I literally thought I was going off the deep end. Alcohol or drugs was the only relief I got for what was going on in my head.
So was it past a specific fight?
It's like 2006, 2007, 2008. I stopped fighting in 2009. I didn't know what else to do. All my identity was tied up in being a fighter. You know, and understanding like these simple words of like, fighting's what I did. It's not who I am.
Right.
I'm much more than that, right? I'm much more than a fighter. And understanding once I got to that point, you know, it's like that's when some of the relief came in. But part of it, my head, like there's something, I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just seeking relief because of like, there's something that's up in my head. Didn't know what it was. Still to this day, I look at it like, I call it a God shot because it was one where it's like something needs to change because this is unsustainable. You know, unsustainable with the alcohol, unsustainable with what's going on in my head. And, you know, get sober, things quiet down. You know, it's actually quiet down. That first year it took that of sobriety, it took to clear out all the bullshit that was in my head. Going, I just need neutral, right? And once I hit neutral, it's like, oh, wow, I can build on this.
Props to him. Hitting neutral isn't easy, but it changes everything.
And then when it premiered at HBO at the studios, this was like the whole crowning moment is having like a 65-year-old grandmother come over to me who I would have nothing in common with and say to me, you know what? That was beautiful. My grandson, he's got a drinking problem and I don't know what to do.
Wow.
You know, it's like this door had been opened where she felt comfortable to sit down and talk with me about her grandson. And it was like this moment of like, oh, this is what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
It's about opening that door up so people can connect and go, well, if he can do it, I can tell my truth.
Right.
You know, because it's difficult, man. Addictions are just, I mean, shaming and they keep you in a box. And it's just this, it's a horrible existence.
It's wild how one person's honesty can unlock healing for another. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed it, a like and subscribe would be awesome.